the principle of the worst place piece, of improving the worst place piece, of course. In the literature, it is also sometimes called Markogonov principle. Okay, in a quiet position, where there are no direct tactical threats or many concrete variations to calculate, you can ask your pieces, who has the best case, who is the worst place compared to its potential strength, and then try to improve your worst place piece or to exchange it. Okay, so what to do with white in Karyakin Wang Hao Supreme Masters 2013? Which is the worst place piece? What do you think? Okay, let's start with the Rook D1. The Rook D1 is on an open file, well placed, or maybe let's start even one stage earlier. Why is this a quiet position? Yeah, there is a tactical option here due to this configuration on the C file, but black cannot profit from it because the bishop moves somewhere, whatever, and if bishop e4 or takes g2, or okay, bishop takes g2, then the bishop takes, or bishop e4 check, then white's king moves, and then the bishop c5 cannot be taken due to rook d8 mate on the back rank. This is the reason why black has no direct tactical threats, and this in some way is a quiet position. Okay, as we have already seen from the lines calculated, the rook d1 is well placed on an open file. It might be improved to d2, but it is not such a strong case it has, of course. The rook e1, yeah, it has better potential than protecting the e pawn, and protecting the files on the e square might be activated later, but okay, it is not likely that it's the first place piece. But it has more potential than from e1. Yeah, the bishop has a concrete job. It must protect the g-pawn, but it certainly has more potential. But who knows, the worst place piece, if not, and then it's a question, if it's the worst place piece, if it's possible to improve it, or if it doesn't make sense. Okay, let's go ahead. But it has a concrete job. This of course must be considered as well. Yeah, the bishop c5, okay, is very well placed, but it has this tactical problem with the rook c8, so it might be an option to improve it, to go out of this tactical problem. Yeah, okay, finally, what about the kings? Of course, there are also the pawns, but the principle in Markogonov's spirit, I think, is about the pieces. But we could, of course, include the pawns if we want. The king, yeah, the king has more potential than from b1. Yeah, it is on a light square where the bishop can give check. It is far away from the center. It has not really important jobs here, so I think the king has the best case. King b2. Now it's on a dark square. The bishop cannot give check. The knight could give check, but the pawn b3 dominates the knight in that direction. And so the king had the best case, and Karyakin improved it. Okay, now Wang Hao solved the problem of his back rank. After g3 and rook g4, now, yeah, g3 improves the pawns on the king's side and takes the burden from the bishop f1 away, so it can now be improved sooner or later. But here, the bishop c5 has the best case due to this tactical problem, and yeah, bishop e7 would also be very strong, but there is nothing wrong with bishop e3, of course. It's more human in a way, I think. Bishop e7 is a computer move. Yeah, now the rook must move, as white doesn't want to exchange, of course, but white wants to keep the bishops. Yeah, and there are two options, rook d3, which is also very strong, but a lot of concrete lines must be calculated. The computer suggests it because it is strong at such calculation. While Karyakin wants to exchange, black's active rook, typical human logic, also very strong. Okay, what now? Now we must include the pawns into Markogonov's principle to find the solution. Yeah, the queenside majority has the best case, and especially the a pawn, as the b3 is needed to dominate the knight. Now, yeah, talk to your pieces. Which is the worst place, which can be activated best? The king, I think. The king is very central now. It helps the well-placed bishop. Okay, activating the majority further. Now, yeah, corralling the knight is often an option when possible. Yeah, it is really over the board next to impossible to defend such a position with black when white makes such strong pressure. Yeah, the bishop of the bishop pair, which has no counterpart, gets stronger and stronger. It might be called the green bishop somehow. Okay, what now? What did Karjakin play? Which is white's worst placed piece and how to improve it? Yeah, okay, there might be a discussion about the rook or the bishop. But I think bishop d3 is most logical because the bishop must move to d3 if it wants to be improved to increase its potential to play on both wings. While the rook has many options. It can go to the a file, it can go elsewhere later. This such flexibility way of looking at matters is often good. The rook has more options. So it should remain flexible. The choice should not be made now. Well, the bishop has only one option, so the choice can be made now. Such kind of flexibility often helps when using Markogonov's principle. Because more than one piece might be in some way the worst place, or it might be possible to improve it, and then this way of looking at matters afresh helps to decide it. But chess is a concrete game. Never play on such principles alone. Always look at the resulting positions, make concrete calculations. Yeah, now it's a very tough defensive job. Wang Hao should have played rook d7, waiting, doing nothing but doing this really well, as Tony Miles once put it. And then black can still harbor hopes to defend, but over the board it's next to impossible. Because white has such strong pressure with his bishops. Well, f5 was definitely a mistake. Don't play on the wing where your opponent is stronger and wants to play, and don't open roads for him. Now white's attack with the 3 strong long-range pieces wins. What was the last move of the game? Ask all your men. Here the pawns must be included again, h4, and Wang Hao resigned. The h-pawn is white's worst placed piece, it's a backward pawn, some kind of a weakness, while all the other pieces are very well placed. And so Wang Hao resigned. As he can't take, then he would lose the bishop to the pin. And after knight d6, now of course white's rook could come. And now, the advantage can be seen that Karjakin just kept his rook on e1. And here the opposite colored bishops have nothing to do with a draw, it's just the other way around. The opposite colored bishops increase white's advantage, as is the middle game guideline for opposite colored bishops. They favor the attacker, and this is the case here. They help Karjakin's attack, and here he would win more material, and so Wang Hao resigned after h4. Yeah, the principle to improve the worst placed piece is very important, not only in the endgame. You can use it in the opening, in the middle game, or end game. And it can help you to find candidate moves. But of course you must be sure that it's a quiet position, that there are no tactical threats, and you must of course look at the jobs your pieces have, and how this affects your decision. And it can also may help you to find out which pieces you want to exchange. Here white maybe wants to exchange one rook, as happened in the game, but not more. Or 2 rooks only if then the technical endgame is clearly winning. Otherwise, the additional rook often helps the bishop pair as our guide line. And this was also the case in the game. In the attack, White's rook was very, very powerful, helping the bishops a lot. So it was much easier than our technical endgame would be. The bishops would also be very, very strong in the technical endgame, but here it is directly game over.